Shadowlands patch 9.1 brought with it a new type of gear, and in reaction quite the outrage from many players, as it would seemingly limit the options of slots for their legendaries. While that is true, how does this new gear, called Domination Gear, affect you as a player? How do you even get your hands on it, and how important is it? Even a month into the release of 9.1, I was still confused about the Domination Gear. I have still to get a single piece, so how does that affect me? With this guide, as always, I aim to provide a quick and simple overview for those who are still a little unsure about Domination Gear, Domination Shards, and the socket bonuses. What you first off need to know is that it's not the Domination Gear itself which gives you a beneficial boost to your character, extra defense, damage or healing, but the shards you equip into the domination sockets of the gear. Only Domination Gear has domination sockets. Into those sockets you put, you guessed correctly, Domination Shards. Makes sense so far. So, there are in total 5 pieces of Domination Gear to collect, and each piece has 1 socket for a shard. Depending on your armor type, the Domination Gear take up different slots. For plate wearers, the Domination armor pieces you get are head, shoulder, chest, wrist, and hands. Mail wearers get head, shoulder, chest, waist, and feet. The leather Domination armor pieces are head, shoulder, chest, hands, and feet. And for clothies, you get the following slots occupied by Domination Gear: head, shoulder, chest, wrist, and waist. You want to aim to collect the entire set of your Domination armor, or at the very least 3 pieces. By this point, you can probably guess why this would greatly limit the slots you can equip your legendaries into. There's almost only the jewelry slots left for all classes. Before we start getting into the Domination Shards, let's talk about how you get your Domination Gear, because without it, the shards are irrelevant and just take up backspace. I can testify to that. You get most of your Domination armor set from the Sanctum of Domination raid, but you can also get 1 piece of the set either from Death's Advance when you reach Exalted with the faction, or from the Archivist Codex at tier 6. These 2 factions will however give you the same armor slot piece, just with different eye levels. So therefore a venture into the Sanctum of Domination is required. Remember that running Sanctum of Domination will also give you a chance at Domination armor in your weekly vault. Those of you who do not raid will probably be thinking, does that mean I cannot play the game if I do not raid? No. I will spoil it right here and now. Domination Gear is not a must to play WoW, to progress and have a high DPS. I currently run 15 keys on my Frost DK without a single piece of Domination armor, and I'm having absolutely no issues. You still get great gear from dungeons, you get your vault, you get your PvP gear with Conquest, the eye level of PvP gear is even increased in PvP situations, and you have your legendaries. You do not need Domination Gear. Especially because, and here's the shocker that I will return to later, the special Domination Shard bonus only works in the Maw and Torghast. Ha. There is a total of 9 Domination Shards to collect, split into 3 types with different benefits. Regardless of your class and spec, the 9 shards are the same. Equipping 3 shards of the same kind will give you the famous shard bonus power. So if you do socket all 5 pieces of Domination Gear, you'll probably want to aim for 3 shards of the same kind for a bonus, with an addition of either 2 different ones or 2 of the same type. Depending on your class and spec, you'll most likely end up with very different combinations of shards. The 3 Domination Shard types are Blood Shards, Frost Shards, and Unholy Shards. For the Blood Shards, you can collect the following 3. The Shard of Rev, which increases your leech by 30. The Shard of Jazz increases the incoming healing you receive by 0.7% and increases your maximum health by 300. And the Shard of Bag, which increases your overall damage by 1.5% when you have 50% or more health than your target. For the Frost Shards, you have the Shard of Core, which increases your damage by 1.5% for 20 seconds when you attack an enemy you haven't damaged yet. The Shard of Tell, upon a critical hit, you cause a nearby ally to absorb the next 171 damage dealt to them within 6 seconds. And the Shard of Care, which gives you an absorb of 660 every 5 seconds up to a cap of 3,300. Lastly, for the Unholy Shards, you get the Shard of Oath, which increases your speed by 30, The Shard of Set, your helpful spells and abilities have a chance to grant your target Unholy Aura, which drains 166 health from nearby enemies every 2 seconds for 10 seconds. And finally, the Shard of Dis, when you damage a target, your damage done to that target is increased by 0.25% for 4 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. For all the shards, they are a random drop from one of the bosses in Sanctum of Domination, except for one, the Blood Shard of Rev, which drops from the world boss Morgeth in Desmotarion in the Maw, and from Sylvanas in the Sanctum of Domination. You can only receive shards you don't already have, so you'll never get duplicates. Shards can be upgraded for their individual benefits to be more powerful. Each shard has 5 ranks, and you can upgrade them at Bonesmith Hermir in Korthia after you've completed Chapter 3 in the 9.1 campaign. Each shard upgrade requires Stygian Embers, and the amount you need increases with each shard upgrade. Note that you cannot skip a rank. Upgrading to rank 2 costs 5 Stygian Ember, rank 3 costs 15 Stygian Ember, rank 4 costs 30, and finally rank 5 requires 50 Stygian Embers. To get Stygian Embers, you again have to venture into the Sanctum of Domination, as it drops some Sanctum of Domination bosses and some trash mobs. When you want to upgrade a shard or just change it for another if you wish to do so, you must purchase a Soulfire Chisel from Bonesmith Hermir for 2,500 Stygia. The chisel is not consumable, meaning you only need to buy it once. Using it on a socketed shard will take the shard out of its domination socket without damaging the shard in the process. Do note that upgrading your shards does not affect the Domination Gear's eye level. That you gotta deal with, unfortunately. At this point, I think it's worth checking out how much benefit the shard bonus provides in comparison to overall gear eye level. I suspect it will be worth having a rating set which includes your Domination armor set and a Mythic Plus set with entirely different gear, if you're a player who does both. One could say that the core goal of Domination Gear and Domination Shards is the Rune Word Set bonus, or referred to as just a socket bonus. To get it out of the way, this bonus only works in the Maw, Torghast and the Sanctum of Domination raid. The Maw includes Korthia. The individual Domination Shard effects, however, work everywhere, so you'll always get the shard benefits. The Rune Word Set bonuses will be applied when you have all 3 of the same kind of shard equipped, the Frost set, the Unholy set, or the Blood set. The Rune Word bonuses are: equipping 3 Blood Shards will give you Bloodlink. While inside the Maw or Torghast, damaging an enemy establishes a Bloodlink. Bloodlink pulses every 3 seconds, dealing 540, 810, 1080, 1450 or 1620, depending on the shard's ranks, shadow damage, and heals you for 100% of the damage dealt. If your Bloodlink would overheal you, it instead heals one nearby ally. Equipping 3 Frost Shards will give you Winds of Winter. While inside the Maw or Torghast, each time you deal a critical strike, the winds accumulate 6, 9, 12, 15 or 18%, again depending on the shard's ranks, of that effect up to a cap of 180, 270, 360, 450 or 540 per critical strike. Every 20 seconds, the winds unleash, dealing frost damage equal to total accumulation and surrounding you in the winds for 20 seconds, absorbing 100% of damage dealt by the winds. Equipping 3 Unholy Shards will give you Chaos Bane. While inside the Maw or Torghast, your spells and abilities have a chance to drain a soul fragment from your target, granting you 10, 15, 20, 25 or 30 primary stat for 30 seconds and stacking up to 15 times. When you reach 15 stacks, you unleash Chaos Bane, dealing 1500, 2250, 3000, 3750 or 4500 shadow damage split between nearby enemies and granting you 300, 450, 600, 750 or 900 primary stat for 15 seconds. I gotta admit, these socket bonuses are pretty cool. Now, let me have some of that Domination Gear, please. I've already completed Normal Sanctum and moved into Heroic with no drops, please. And final details to the Rune Word bonuses as well. and this is a little unnecessary if you ask me. It is a requirement to equip a certain domination piece for each of the rune word bonuses to take effect. For the Bloodlink bonus to work, you must equip a Domination Gear chest piece. For the Winds of Winter bonus to take effect, you must have a shoulder piece equipped. And for the Chaos Bane bonus, you must have a Helm Domination piece equipped. I know, rage. To wrap everything up, the Domination Gear in itself is not better than any other gear you can get in higher difficulty content in Shadowlands. As a matter of fact, some of the Domination armor pieces probably doesn't have the stats you're aiming for your class. However, the Domination Shard effects and the socket bonuses make up for some of that, in some cases. Depending on the gear you otherwise have on hand, it's probably worth upgrading your shards for better benefits, as something like a plus 26 leech would in no world make up for losing eye levels. As for the socket bonuses, please do not forget that they only work in the Maw and Torghast. As such, they're useless in Mythic Dungeons, PvP and general world content, as opposed to the Domination Shards general benefits, which work everywhere. In short, Domination Shard benefits and Rune Word Set bonuses are, above anything else, a fun, quality of life upgrade to your Sanctum of Domination raiding, your Torghast runs and your Maw and Korthia quests. So, again, bottom line, Domination Gear is not a must for you. Live your life in WoW however you see fit, be casual, do PvP, run mythic keys, because you're not forced to get the gear and it's not the end of the world if it does not drop for you. Alright, I think we have that established now. Thank you so much for watching and supporting. I hope the video helped you in some way to better understand the Domination Gear system in 9.1. Come by for a chat during one of my streams on Wednesday or Saturdays if you like. Till then, take care.